cloud. Okay. Anyways, so let's find your position for breathing. You want to sit down? Okay. So sitting either on your heels, yes, or legs crossed, or anything on blocks, anything you want, as long as your pelvis is perpendicular to the ground. So if you need to rock the pelvis forward and back a little bit, find the tips of the sit bones. Then let's try to stack the lower ribs with the hip bones and lengthen the spine from there. Relax the shoulders, your hands anywhere you want, and just breathe. Try to start the breath to the back of the ribs, and then the imagery of an umbrella, the rib cage expanding back, side, and forward. Breathing out. If you're ready to pull the pelvic floor up off the mat and up, you can do that. Okay? Breathing in and out. Relax the shoulders. You have 4 teacher trainers in the room. That's really nice. All right, so keep breathing. 4 models. There we go. So on the breath in, keep growing the spine longer. On the breath out, if you haven't yet, pull that pelvic floor up and start feeling the lower abdominals activate. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, expand. Maintain the lengthening of the spine. And then start activating the core if you haven't. Pelvic floor, lower abdominals, lifting. And then hugging the hip bones, shortening the waist and the ribs as well. Remember, everything is very gentle. So just enough to where you're not flexing, tucking, or changing the position of the body. Expanding the rib cage. Hugging that corset gently in, starting from the bottom, all the way up, or all together. Okay, and then let's add the arms to this. I'm going to just face the camera a little bit. So you're going to breathe in, open the arms to the side and up, helping opening the rib cage more. Breathe out, bring it back down. Yeah. So breathing in at your own pace. Breathing out. And allow the arms to just rotate from the shoulder joint as much as you need it to. Breathing in. Breathing out. So maintain that nice long line that you found when the arm goes up as the arm comes back down. And then we're going to take the right, both arms up and keep the right arm up. So we're going to breathe in, lengthen, breathe out, bring the left arm down, keep lengthening through the whole right side, up. Give me one more breath, decompress the ribs, reach. Now, keeping the pelvis stable, just shift the ribs a little bit to come into lateral flexion and hold. Breathe into the ribs, open. Breathe out. Shift the ribs up to the ceiling and down. One more breath. Open up the rib cage and breathe in. Bring the arm back up. Nice. And let's do the other side, but bring both arms up, lengthen. Breathe out and bring the right arm down, keep the left, and lengthen one more time. Open the ribs, reach, and then shift the ribs a little bit and up. So remember that those sit bones are anchoring. I need you to really lift. So imagine somebody's pulling and really opening those ribs. And then if you need to shift a little bit to keep the weight on that left sit bone shift, grow taller, 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 taller on the breaths in. That's it. And then on your third one, go as far as you want. Breathe in, bring the arm back. Feels good, right? Roll the shoulders. And let's go to the floor. So wherever you're sitting, where it's already warm, you can use bring your back to it, yeah? So knees bent, roll down, bring your back to the mat. Good. So feet on the ground in alignment with the sit bones, knees bent, arms on the floor, head supported if you need to. And then let's go to our breath again. So breathing into the back of the ribs, pushing it towards the mat with the breath, and then out to the side. Breathe out, pull the pelvic floor, sink and lift the abdominals. Make sure your chest and ribs are not popping to the ceiling. Good. And breathe in, expand the ribs out to the side and up. Breathe out, activate pelvic floor, sink the pubic bone and lower abdominals, and lift pelvic floor and abdominals. Hug the hip bones, the waist, and the ribs. That's it. Nice, keep breathing. So now just really getting that back to rest on the floor. Give me one more breath, and then we're going to add the pelvic tilt. So you're going to scoop the abdominal imprint, length of the waist, the sit bone, and arch. So whenever you're ready, from the inner abdominals, when you pull the pelvic floor and lift it, the pubic bone is going to travel up to connect to belly button. Hip bones connect to ribs. Then lengthen the waist, lengthen the sit bones, lengthen the tailbone when you breathe in, and then at the end, arch that low back to dip the pelvis forward. So forward and back. Make sure both sides of the abdominal wall are really working. So work a little bit harder on that weaker side. Lengthen. So also the side of the back that you feel does not work is working. Keep your ribs both sides gently pulling in to feel the connection of the back as well. So don't watch that. If there's a side not working, maybe you're flaring the rib out to the side. Finish one or two more. So if it was cracking at the beginning, hopefully by the fourth and fifth, your pelvis is a little bit more released. All right, so we're gonna go side to side whenever you're ready. You're gonna find the neutral position. Again, relax the chest and the ribs down. And if you feel like you'd rather work from a slight imprint position, you can. So now we're gonna lift the hips to the ceiling. I want you to squeeze your right butt and then reach that butt to the ceiling and the knee straight up as you press the other side down. And then you're gonna come back to your neutral, lengthen both ways, and then squeeze the other butt to lift the hip up and the leg forward to keep the waist long, press the opposite side down, and then bring it back. So now we're rotating side to side, okay? Try not to shorten the waist, so your pelvis should be reaching forward and then up. And use the thigh reaching forward to help you with the alignment. And then the opposite side, if you want to press it down, you can. Ribs are down, scapulas and arms are pressing down, and you're just working on the rotation of the pelvis. Nice, that looks really good. So lengthen. If you need, we're not lifting the pelvis, we're just rotating it side to side. Yeah. So we're spilling water to the right, spilling water to the left. So you have one hip up and one pressing down on the mat, not lifting both pelvises up. So rotating pelvis on the ground. So a cup of water on your belly, and you're going to spill with the pelvis water to the right, spill with the pelvis water to the left. The ribs stay down, the scapulas and arms stay to keep the torso still. So the rotation happens only on the lower part of the spine and pelvis. Good. When you finish it evenly, you're going to release back to neutral, and we're going to do the pelvic circles. So you're going to breathe out, imprint, and we're going to start rotating to the right. So on the breath in, you're going to roll from the outside of the pelvis to the right and arch the pelvis forward. On the breath out, scoop the pelvis left all the way back to imprint. And do about 3 to 4 circles to the right, breathing in to go forward, outside and forward, breathing out to scoop and coming back to neutral. Use your tailbone as your anchor point and move on the outer edges of the pelvis to the tailbone, outer edge of pelvis, all the way to imprint. When you're done with about 3 to 4, you're going to reverse it. So you're going to start rolling to the other side. If you started on the right, now you're going to breathe in, go left, scoop, roll right back to neutral. Okay, so sometimes you may allow the ribs to follow the movement. Just don't lead with any part of the ribs. We want them as quiet as possible, and the pelvis and the spine as long as possible, using abdominal muscles, using back muscles to do the pivoting, and some of the glute muscles. Keep your feet on the mat, keep the knees as still as possible, and work just from the pelvis. Okay, try not to roll your feet out of the knee. Move just from the pelvis. So another 3 to 4 to that direction. It feels really yummy. All right, and when you're done with both sides, just release the pelvis and the back, and it should be pretty even. When you're done, realign. So chest, ribs pressing, low back off the mat. You're all advanced, so we can keep neutral. Unless you have something going on with the back, you can support it. Pelvis, sacrum, tailbone down, breathe in and out, stabilize, and let's march. So floating the leg up, keeping the pelvis completely still, breathe out, scoop the pelvic floor, lift the abdominals, then slowly bring the leg down. So now we're trying to not allow the pelvis to move forward and back when we lift, and not allowing it to go side to side either. So keep it as still as possible. If you need to imprint to find more stability, feet down and down, up, marching. From down to up, back to down. Good. So as the leg goes up, your pubic bone keeps reaching forward to allow the pelvis not to tilt and go into the mat. Can I have really relaxed hip flexors, please? So try to float the leg to the ceiling. Breathe out, down. Work the breath. Breathe in, float up, up, up. Knee up. Yeah, up. Yeah. So you're pulling and yanking. Float the leg up and then back. Without it better. Now, hold, breathe out, scoop and lift your arms. Slow down. Real slow. You're popping. Abs, okay? So work the way down. Nicely. That looks really good. Very nice. No rotation, excellent stability. Good. So we're going to finish it up with the left leg. If you started with the right, keeping that stability of the pelvis that we just worked, we're going to keep it and now move just the rib cage for the crunches. So arms to ceiling, if that's suitable for your shoulders today, or next to the hip. Anybody needs to support the head, tuck the chin, lengthen the head, and then you can work. I need to see that neutral happening with you and the movement coming just from the ribs to lift the head and the shoulders. So let's start hollowing the abdominals. Breathe in to lengthen, tuck your chin, look to the wall in the ceiling. Breathe out, hollow the abdominal, press into the back of your brow line, start rolling the head and the shoulders, keeping shoulders wide, the hands come next to your hips. Make sure your belly is sucking in and not pushing to ceiling. Now, roll one ball at a time, like a bridge. Keep rolling, keep the pelvis still, keep the ribs pressing down. Breathe in, tuck the chin. Breathe out, hollow. Press into the back of the ribs to roll head and shoulders. Reach the arms with the collarbones wide. Tuck the chin and look between your knees, yeah? And then roll down. Push the spine down. One bone at a time. If you're comfortable reaching the arms further back, you can, without the ribs popping. Give me 4 more. Breathe in to tuck the chin. Breathe out, hollow abdominal. Keep the pelvis neutral and roll. Stay there. Yes. So I want the tailbone heavier, the pubic bone reaching forward more as you crunch up and down, okay? So try not to tuck the pelvis. No more rolling pelvis back. Pelvis stays reaching forward. Nice, kind of. It's really good. So you're pumping the ribs back when the arms go back. Try to keep the rib cage more still when the arm comes back. So imagine you're still doing the crunch as you reach the arms, you know, arch the ribs. So the arms might not go too far back. That's okay. Okay. And now you're going to start keep crunching. You're going to add the marches to it. Give me 6 more. So crunch, march. Roll, control. Tuck, breathe in. Scoop, march. Still stabilizing the opposite side, right? Nice and control, keep the opposite side pressing. Very good. Yeah, good job. Looks great. Shoulders nice and wide. Make sure you're lifting the head from the ribs, not from the neck. So keep the chin tucked to lengthen the back of the neck or lengthen the base of the skull to tuck your chin for you. Good. When you're done with the 6, just rest the arms down. Nice job. All right, so let's march the legs up one at a time. So hands come down to the side, imprint, right leg goes up, imprint, left leg goes up. And we're gonna keep the head down and the arms down. You're gonna breathe out, imprint, both legs come down. So we have heels together, inner thighs together, or just heels together with the knees a little softer for your back if you need that. Breathe out, scoop the belly, relax both legs down and up. How far does it go? Only as far as you can maintain your abdominals lifting and your back and pelvis completely stable on the mat. So for me, I use the imprinting motion. So give me about 6 of those. And the legs don't have to move very far. The abdominals have to keep lifting. So just relax the legs so the abdominals can work and the legs stay relaxed enough so your psoas are not pulling the pelvis forward with you. The back forward. Nice job. Good. And hold it up, arms back up to the ceiling. We crunch and toe tap. Breathe out, crunch. And come back up. Crunch. And come back down, yeah? And then if you feel comfortable with this movement, you're gonna crunch and straighten the legs out and come back down. So the idea of holding the abdominals is still the same, but now we're just extending the knee. Last one. Crunch, reach the legs. Good. And then you can hug your knees in for a second. We're going to move that movement, I give you a break, into the hundreds. Okay? So you may keep the knees where they were. You may keep the legs down if you need to. You may keep the head down and just work the arms and the legs at whatever level you want to. So if your head is down, don't lower the legs too much. It's much harder to maintain stability, okay? So arms come back up to the ceiling, tuck your chin, pick whatever leg option works. And if your head is gonna come up, tuck your chin. Let's crunch on a breath out. Keep the legs bent for the first 30. Crunch, hold. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out. Keep pushing into the bra line, 2, breathe to the ribs. Breathe out, scoop and crunch higher. 3, stronger arms, strong, tap one, go. 4, let's start extending the legs on the breath out and leave it there if you want to. 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe into the ribs. Crunch higher on the breath out. 7, keep zipping the heels and the inner thigh. Crunch higher. 8, breathe into the ribs. Strong arms, come on. Up higher, we're gonna do planks, so you wanna warm up the shoulders. Last 10, let's go. Crunch as high as you can, chest wide open, pulse into the back of the arms. Nice, roll down, hug the knees, and catch your breath. Very nice. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna come up, and the options for you are, you can grab the back of the thighs, roll up. You can roll to the side, push yourself up, whatever you want. We're gonna come up into an all fours position, okay? So our wrists are not as warm yet, but the arms should be from the 100. If you need to, just roll the wrists in 3 to 4 times. And then do the other direction, 3, 5 times. Okay, palms to ceiling. You can either rest the hands here on your thighs, and I want you to make a fist and pull your fingers towards your wrist. And the arm has to be straight, not to the side, yeah? Straight, pull, and you should feel the forearms working. And go 2, 3, squeeze and pull. 4, and 5, yeah? So now we have the wrists kind of warmish. Options for being here. If you cannot be on your arms, 2 blocks on each side or whatever you have to be on your elbows. If you come down, it's okay, but it's not gonna be the same, all right? I would like the back to be more parallel to the ground. So spread your fingers. We have middle finger kind of reaching forward, thumb and pinky fingers on mat mostly, and then all tips of fingers pulling in. Yeah, so we're not popping up. And your knuckles should be on the ground, but the thumb and the pinky should really be working on the mat. All right, so we have a nice long spine. Tuck your toes in. Excellent. Press into the ground. Rotate the armpits in like you're holding a book under each armpit. On the breath out, I want you to lift your knees up without using arms or back. I just want you to pull the abdominals up, and that scoop of the belly should lift the legs very gently up, and then you're gonna bring it back down. All right, so you can use your hands, you can use your back, you can round, but I want you to think hollow, 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 and float the legs up, and then you bring it back down. So if you're on your elbows, it's the same idea. Okay, that's why I need you to be high, because here it's going to be a little bit difficult. So on the elbows, anything under you, same idea. Okay, so really hollow the belly to lift you, and that takes a little bit of more control here. So if you can see my belly, yeah, I'm hollowing, hollowing, hollowing. I'm making my abdominals float me up, and then I release. My arms are not extra pushing. I'm not rounding. I'm pulling the belly in, and I'm going to float the knees up and then down. So pull the pelvic floor gently, pull the pubic bone belly button in, hug the hip bones and the ribs, flow. So maintain that neutral. Keep the fingertips pressing on the mat so there's not too much pressure on the wrists. Big thumb, pinky finger, float. So don't round the back, just float the knees. So keep your neutral, head straight and straight ahead. So tuck the chin, and the back of the neck is lifting to the ceiling. So don't collapse anything. Keep the back of the neck, the back of the head reaching, crown of the head reaching, tailbone and sit bones reaching back. And you're holding those books under the armpits, right? Float. So try to do 1 or 2 more. We're doing about 8 to 10. I'm sure you probably reached 8 by now. And whenever you're ready, you uncurl the toes and you just stretch back into child's pose if you need to. And to release the wrist, we can do the same exercise we did to warm it up, yeah? So pull, roll the fingers to the wrist and activating that forearm. Pull the shoulders. So what we have today is actually we're going to do combinations of planks with lunges. Okay. Having warmed up the arms, we're going to come up into planks. So the options for the planks that we have are definitely on the knee. You want to stay on the all fours, you can. You want to reach back, you can. Inner thighs together or legs hip width. If you're going to be on the knees, you can tap and be here. And then if you want, you can be on a full plank position. I want you for now to just hold plank, and we're just going to shift a little bit the body forward and back. Okay, so same position that we were here, fingers spread, pushing up, so the scapulas are protracted, they're coming towards the chest, shoulders away from the ears, and then either move the knees back, tuck the pelvis a bit, or step the legs back and hold that plank. Definitely can be done on the elbows. So hold that plank, good. Reaching the tailbone back, lengthening the crown of the head forward, pushing the floor away, holding those two books under the armpits to open up the shoulder. Lovely. And now, if you can, shift your shoulders slightly forward and shift your heels slightly back. If it hurts your wrists, bring your arms a little bit more forward and shift the shoulders forward. Reach the heels back. So now you're going forward and back in one long line. Shoulders shift forward and heels come in. Heels shift back and the shoulders move back. Keep the abdominals elevated. Everybody lift your lower ribs to the ceiling. Lift your pubic bone to the ceiling and tuck the pelvis a little bit. So can everybody tuck a little bit more of the pelvis? Yeah, your butt's a little bit to the ceiling. So belly up, tuck pelvis. Yeah, that's right. So lengthen the tailbone back. Nice. Bring the knees down and stretch. So those about a minute. Those together, knees apart. And then again, if you need to release. So if you want to stretch, just reach, press the chest down. If you want to release the wrist, you can be here. Yeah, here, here. Are you on hands? Are you okay? Okay. So lastly, we're going to go into pike, which is basically kind of down dog. All right. So from this position on your from the plank, you're going to stay on this position with the legs hip width apart. I want you to use your abdominals to push the pelvis to the ceiling. Then your hands are going to push your whole shoulders back. I want you to stay neutral. So this is not an option. No head and chest pushing. So abdominals lift the pelvis, hands push the arms to continue lifting pelvis. If the heels come down, they do. If not, it doesn't matter. I just want a pike. Okay, here. And then you're going to squeeze your butt. Your pelvis is going to move you forward. You're going to rotate from the shoulder, come back into a plank. So pelvis with the abdominals. Arms keep pushing, head falls under the arm, and you're in this pike position. Pelvis pushes you forward, roll from the hips, the shoulders, and you come back into that long line. Okay? No chest, no head pushing. It's just a lift and a drop of the pelvis if you want to think it that way. Okay? The rest follows. If you're on your elbows, you can do it with the knee slightly bent. You can lift pelvis, straighten leg. Then knee come back or come back into here to here. Yeah, the range of motion is a little shorter on the elbows, but it's doable. All right, so hands on mat. And if you're on your knees, just lift the knees and drop the knees. That's also an option, yeah? If we're doing plank on knees, knees come up, pelvis comes up, pelvis come down, pelvis comes down. So I need you to move from the pelvis and your core. Start in the plank position so you know your distance, first of all. Yeah, you're in full plank. From there, use your abdominals to lift the pelvis straight up. And as you start lifting now, the arms need to help it also. So it's going to keep pushing the shoulders and the pelvis to the ceiling. Drop the heels as much as you can. and lengthen. Now coming forward, squeeze the butt, tuck your pelvis to move you forward, roll from the shoulders, and shift the chest forward and adjust into a nice long line. That's it. Use the abdominals to lift you. Keep floating the pelvis up. Now the arms help push the spine and the pelvis to the ceiling. Heels drop wherever they can. Squeeze the butt, roll the pelvis forward. Roll the shoulders, shift the chest and the crown of the head forward into a long line. And again, try to give me 2 more. Going through your elbows if you need to, and you can use the blocks Fatima if you want, yeah? Pelvis, pelvis, lift pelvis. I want the butt to touch the ceiling, that's it. That's much better. Lift that pelvis up, lift. Once you're up there, drop the heels, yeah? Drop the heels are gonna drop. Then tuck the pelvis to move you forward. And then roll from the shoulders, good. And then abs, lift the butt. Think of butt, somebody's pulling your butt up. And then the arms are helping lift the butt. And then at the top, the heels drop as much as it can. The butt is to the ceiling. Don't press the head forward, please. Don't press the chest down. Lift the butt. That's all I want. Good. Tuck your pelvis. Roll forward. Open the shoulders and lengthen. Very nice. Good. And if you've had enough, you can bring the knees down. You can do one more if you want. And you can stretch back. Good. So it's really nice. Lift. Drop the heels, lengthen, that's it. And then from the glutes, tuck and the forwards, really nice. So you're moving from the joints, but you're trying to maintain as much neutral as possible, yeah? That's why I didn't want you to hyperextend, and it's really just a lift. So release, don't round, just lift, lift. Yeah, without that rounding. Now here you tuck and come forward. Tuck the pelvis and roll forward, yeah. So you can roll as much as you want, and here you open into that neutral. So you can make it a spine mobility if you want to round and round, but try not to stay rounded when you're up. It's a real lengthen. You felt it when I pulled the pelvis down. So stretch back if you need to. Release the wrists again. That's a lot of wrist work. And we're going to do lunges. So if you need to hold on to a wall, if you need to hold on to a roller, I can bring you a roller. Step forward, come up. And let's keep the right leg forward. Does anybody need a roller for balance? All right, so let's keep right leg forward, step left leg back. We can do stationary lunge just to figure out what's going on. You guys all have mirrors here. If you need to look, you can. I need the back heel up. Right? Back heel is up and in line with the outer hip is fine. Goes forward. Good. Now, we're going to try to go straight down. So you're going to bend the front knee, bend the back knee, keep the pelvis, so watch the hip. Keep the hips level, lift the abdominals, lengthen the table. I don't mind if you flex forward a little bit. It's okay to flex forward a little bit from the hip. Dig into the butt of the front leg and push up. If you want to come straight down, you have to have good opening on the back leg's hip. Back knee bends. Back knee bends. Good. And look in the mirror. Did you drop the hip of the knee that's back? You need to maintain leveled pelvis. Yeah. So I don't mind. Shift the pelvis back a little bit. Lean forward. This is a little bit easier. And then push back. You're going to feel it more on the front leg if you're folding forward. Okay? But whatever you do, don't sit back. Don't lean back. Okay? Neutral, neutral, neutral. Give me 10. Dig into the front foot. Squeeze the butt, come up. And then keep looking at the alignment of that front knee, that it's not collapsing in. Your toes are open and spread. Good. Then your knee is aiming to open up to middle toes or pinky. Nice. Lift the abdominals. Tailbone reaching down. Abdominals lift, tailbone down. Hips leveled. Dig and lift. Are you slipping, Sarah? Okay. Just put a sticky microphone. Nice. Good. So lift abdominals, So keep lifting this as you go down. Tailbone back. Yes, that's better. Okay, shake your legs. Are we okay? Yeah. All right. So whenever you're ready, we're moving legs. We're going straight to the other side. So other leg comes forward, back. Remember, you can be wider than hips if you need balance, because that back heel is up. Yeah. We're not doing external rotation. It's complete parallel. Good. So heel up, pelvis aligned. When you're ready, bend the front knee and the back knee. Back knee goes straight down, front knee goes straight forward, pelvis aligned, abdominals lifted, tailbone back. So the tailbone is following the thigh or the back knee, if you will. If you need to release a little bit of the back hip, all you're going to do is lean forward a little bit and then go down and up. But I need that neutral to be working, yeah? When you come up, dig the heel of the front leg, squeeze the butt all the way up, Simon. All the way up. I need the front leg to straighten. Come on. Pull the thigh of the front leg. Keep lifting abdominals, dig the heel down and lift. Nice. None of these. Control it down. Push all the way up. Pull the thighs. Good. Abs really tight. Lift abdominals. Lengthen tailbone. Watch that pelvis. Very important. You're doing a great job keeping the level of the pelvis. Yeah? The leg that's back. You don't want to rotate. You don't want to dip. You keep holding the hip to rib. Core is working. Everything is working. Really. Good. Nice. When you're ready, we're going to come down into plank. So bring your legs together. We're going to roll down. If that's uncomfortable for you, you can always come down, walk forward, however it's comfortable. For the rest of us, we come down. Let's do the Pilates push-ups, which is breathing in, arms to ceiling. Change this to me so you can see. So breathing in, arms to ceiling. Breathe out, dive forward. So round the head, scoop the abdominals, roll down. And then bend the knees if you need to. We're going to walk forward into a plank. From here, we're going to go into down dog or the pipe. So scoop the belly, lift, push. Roll forward into a plank and shift the shoulders forward. Shift the shoulders back. Push the pelvis up. Keep shifting the shoulders back. Drop the heel if you can. Push away, don't push down. And then roll the pelvis forward into a plank. Shift the shoulders forward and the heels if it doesn't bother your wrists. Otherwise, just hold the plank. Now look, shift the shoulders back as far as you can. The heels reach back. It keeps dropping, the pelvis lifting. So there's a flow between heels, pelvis, shoulder. And then when you go back, shoulder, heels, pelvis up, heels keep dropping, shoulders keep moving back. So find that nice flow. Give me about 6 of these. So shift the heels back, shoulders back. The heels drop, yeah, Caio? Don't stay on your heels or on your toes the whole time. Drop the heels when your butt is up. And then you can lift the heels to roll forward if you like. And then shift the heels and shoulders back. Pelvis goes up, heels go down, shoulders go down and go back. Actually, shoulders go up. Nice. When you're done with 6-ish, of course, it's entirely up to you. If you're on the elbows, just go up, come down, shift forward, push back, come up. And then when you're ready, you can walk back. So if you're in your plank, we're going to walk all the way back again. And then you're going to roll up. Nice. And then we're going to go back into moving lunges now. So hopefully we're feeling better with the lunge. I'm going to give you options. Go back to stationary, or you're going to step back, lunge, come up, and bring the foot back, or up. Lunge. Up. Okay? Up to you. Definitely it's harder on the green mats because it's not as stable, but it does work stability of the ankle, yeah? If you need a roller, please grab one. And then you can use the roller. So it's all optional. Of course, we're learning a lot of balance on this. So does anybody want rollers or no? You good?
Let me see how you use it.
You use it for balance.
Okay.
So if you wanted, the roller is basically to hold on to. For, so here, so if I can't come up, I press into the roller and I keep holding it for balance. Yeah, so I can keep it as close to me, I can keep it in front of me. But if you don't need to use it, leave it that.
The option we can use
Wall.
walls or chair.
So wall, chair, sofa, yeah, and then it can give you balance.
Okay.
But the less you use, of course, then the more you need to work with the balance. So let's do about anywhere between 6 to 10 on one side, and then we're gonna switch sides. Watch alignment, watch everything. Root the leg that's on the floor, so we're all on the right, it's up to you. Root the leg on the floor, come up, and then pull the inner thigh, pull the pelvic floor, grow tall and lift. Then you can bring the foot down, you can step back, okay? So here, root, pull, dig that other leg. The inner thigh is working a lot. So try to use inner thigh, pelvic floor, abs, grow tall, and then the knee may come up, may not. Yeah, nice. Yeah, nice, that's it. So use your feet as much as you can, land as much as you need, and if you don't need to land until you're back, watch your control on this side. Yeah, squeeze the butt all the time. I don't care what you're doing, your butt is working. Nice, good. Core, I need more pelvic floor, more inner thigh and pelvic floor, more. Find that balance. Press and dig. Very nice, nice high, that looks great. Great, beautiful. Vale. Yeah, so go a little wider, you want a little narrow, right? So it's okay to step a little wider. If you come in, you might lose your balance. So parallel to the hips, wider than the hips. See what you need for balance. But your pelvic, your inner thigh, spread your toes, your butt is working. If you're not squeezing the butt, you're not gonna get the same balance, right? Butt is squeezing, inner thigh and pelvic floor lifting all the time. Yeah, that looks amazing. Switch, take a break and then switch to the other side whenever you're ready. That looks really good.
When it's wider, you really feel the glutes more.
It has to work to stabilize you more. Yeah. So especially if your knees are open, it's gonna work the rotators and the glute masses. Coming in is more challenge for balance, and your inner thighs are working more.
Yeah.
Nice, very nice. Core, pelvis, nice. When you're done with your 6 to 8, we're gonna roll back down to that lovely plank. Nice. Find balance. Watch that knee of the leg that's forward. It's opening up, or it's in alignment with like mid-toes, but it's not collapsing in, yeah? That's all look perfect. Looks amazing. Dig into that standing squeeze.
Actually, I see the action.
It's losing.
Yeah, the more things.
Coming inside, no? So use this hip, keep this little bit open. Yeah, so squeeze this button. Step. So squeeze the butt, open the thigh. Yeah, there you go. Better balance. Very nice. Look amazing. When you're done, we're gonna come back up with feet parallel. That's really great. I love it. That was amazing, ladies, all of you. That's great. Rolling back down into a plank. So I'm gonna show you really quick. Okay, we're gonna go back. Now we're gonna do this. Down dog, plank knee in. Down dog, plank the other knee in. Okay, you can go as high as you want. I'm happy with like knee to elbow. Press, come forward, okay? You can do it on the knees. You can do it whatever you want. So your elbows, okay, you can be here, and if you're on your knees, you can just try to bring the knee in, plank, knee in, or you can go knee in, plank, knee in. There's all the variations that makes it easier for you. So let's roll down, find a plank position. Since you're all advanced, I can abuse you. So let's do that push-up roll down. Beautiful. Walk forward. Hands under shoulders. Hands in front of shoulders if your wrists really bother you. You can come forward a bit more. Then let's activate the core. Lift that pelvis up into that pike. And then come forward, bringing your knee to your elbow. Roll forward, knee to elbow, outside. Then lift the pelvis, bring the foot back down into your pike. Roll forward, knee to other elbow. Good. Take your time doing it everything right. I prefer the heels not all the way up all the time. So as you come into your pike, the heels are into your plank, your heels are up, of course. As you come into the pike, lift pelvis, push shoulders, drop the heels more. Okay, again, it doesn't have to touch. So heels up when you go into the plank, pelvis up. Push the arms, try to relax the heels to the floor. Get that lengthening in the back of the body. So don't press chest and head down. Just think of lifting pelvis and shifting the shoulders to the pelvis. Up, up, up. Everything's up. Everything's about lifting the pelvis. Good. Alternate for 10. So if you started with the right, try to finish it with the left. That looks amazing. And then you can definitely stretch if you need. If you feel you don't need to go into a child's pose to stretch, walk your hands back. And then roll yourself back up whenever you're ready. Nice. Come up and roll the shoulders. Woo, that was very nice. Good. And then roll the wrists. Are we okay? Yes, not the easiest class, yeah, but that's okay. It's fun. All right, are we up for one more? Okay, so let's do one more set of the lunges. So now we went up and went down, which is really, really great. So if you can come into your lunge, come up. I'm not gonna add much more. You guys want more? So just lean. So here, which is Kai was doing a really good job. The more you want to balance, yeah, the more you're gonna go into the lunge without touching the leg first, yeah. You go back as far as you can. So you're bending, reaching the leg, continuing, pushing, bringing up. That's a lot of core work and of course stability work. Again, I have no problem with you trying to lift, bring it back down, take it back, bring it up, and then bringing it back up. Take your time, watch the pelvis and watch everything else. So last 6 to 8. Okay, find that stable position, lift that back heel, open the legs as wide as you can. So third round should be the best. But if you need to do less repetitions, I'm fine with that. So watch the alignment of the pelvis, lift the abdominals, lengthen the tailbone. Good. Nice. Keep the hips squared. Nice. Okay, last plank, I'm gonna add the mat to plank with variation. So we're gonna breathe in, go up. Was it better this round, this third round of the lunges, or more stable? Yeah, bring it back. We're gonna come here. Plank. We're gonna rotate. So if you wanna bring your hands closer together, you can. Drop the feet out to the side, side plank. Rotate. Lift it back up. Plank. So I lift the heels back up. See how my feet are? So they're hip width. So when I rotate, they just drop. I'm up. Rotation. Remember this one? Pelvis doesn't go. So you lift to the waist and hips. Rotate from the rib cage. That's it. Bring it back up. Back to plank. Rotate. Knee down if you need it. Rotate. Okay. So this is a nice variation. If you want to go plank, knee down, that's fine. Okay. And let's alternate for 6. So we're gonna roll back down. And you could probably do this on your elbows. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Okay. Elbows, knees. All these variations. So let's roll back down. And then you pick elbow, elbow, knee, just knee. Walk it forward. Nice. All right. So let's bring the hands closer together in the middle. Let's rotate. Right hand stays. Rotate towards the left. Drop the feet. Nice. Do your rotation on the rib cage. And then bring the hand back down. Lift the heels back up. Tuck your pelvis. Everybody lift abdominal and tuck the pelvis more. Bring your hands closer to the middle if you want. Drop the hip and drop the feet. Rotate, push the pubic bone and pelvis, keep it stable. Rotate from the ribs, in and out. Reach back into that side plank and come to your side. Very, very nice, everyone. Good. Try to rotate 6 times, alternating 6, or even 8 if you have the strength. When you're done, bring your knees down and stretch back. Really good. Keep your abdominals lifted. Of course, the diesel guy comes at the wrong time. All right, toes together, knees apart, and then push. That was really good. Reach the arms. And then if you feel like pressing the chest to stretch the chest, you can. If this is too much, you don't have to. All right, if you want to stretch your shoulders, come up into all fours. You're gonna I'm bringing my right arm under. I'm gonna bring my shoulder to the floor and the side of my head. I like to reach my other arm to the other side. You can sit back a little bit more, but it's shoulder and arms reaching across, head down. My other arm is reaching up. Pelvis is trying to stay as lengthened as possible. Keep reaching the arm that's underneath you forward and really reach that scapula. If you don't want to straighten the upper arm, just keep it bent. Good. And the pelvis is reaching straight back. Nice. 5 breaths there. And then whenever you're ready, bring the other arm in and do the other side. So reach the arm across, rotate the shoulder, reach the scapula in the arm. Top arm can reach up, or you can keep it bent next to you. And breathe. 5 breaths. You're gonna bring it back. Okay, walk your hands forward, or you can put here. We're gonna stretch the quads. This is an intense stretch if you want. Okay, so you can bend. Oh no, sorry. Step one leg forward. Confusing. All right. If you can, if not, I'll give you something else. You can keep your hand, this hand down. So I have left leg back, and it's the same side hand. Bend the knee, pull the leg. Okay. And then I need you to tuck the pelvis and shift the hips forward. If this is too intense, you can lay on the side and do this quad stretch. I think this is the most peaceful compared to that one. Good. So I usually like to do about 3 to 4 breaths, push that hip forward to increase, and then I actually switch hands. And I bring either this hand forward or onto my thigh, I tuck and I stretch here too. Yeah, it's a slightly different angle. And do another 3 to 4 breaths. And then you can move to the other side, whatever, take your time, yeah? So tuck the pelvis and shift it forward if you need more, heel to butt. When you switch, again, hand and feet opposite, and then you're coming across the back. Tuck the pelvis, shift the hip forward, keep bringing the heel into the thigh. Of course, if you're more flexible, walk your legs forward, you have more room, tuck and reach. When you've done with 3, 4 breaths, you can switch arms and then bring the hand into your knee. So same arm, same leg side. Nice. And tuck and shift forward. And you can be up more upright. It's a bit deeper stretch when you come up. Nice work. If you want to continue, you can do hamstring stretch, you can do your pigeon stretch. I'm going to stop recording.